Well, good afternoon and welcome. My name is Christine Hall, and I'm the online business manager and lead trainer with Christine Hall and Associates. I'm also the founder and the administrator for the Mississauga and area Women in Business. And in today's short presentation, I'm going to talk about ways that you can have a more successful networking coffee date. Thank you very much for joining us. Many of the participants who are going to be listening to this presentation are members of the MOB, the Mississauga and Area Women in Business. And I know that many of you have been having some really successful coffee dates, and then others have been having some not so successful coffee dates. So I thought we'd do a really quick recap of some of my top 8 tips on ways that you can have a more effective and successful networking coffee date. So tip number 1 for you is just to make sure you choose your dates wisely. Your time is very valuable and you don't want to waste it spending time with people who are not aligned with your personal or professional philosophies, or people that rub you the wrong way. It is very easy now with social media in that you can do a little bit of investigation or research on the individual who invites you to a coffee date to see if this is the right person, the right business opportunity for you to spend your precious and valuable time with. What I'm suggesting here is don't feel the need to say yes to everyone who asks you out. Choose the people whom you like. Say yes to those who are aligned with your personality and your core business principles. If you really feel like, okay, I do want to go on this coffee date, but I'm not quite sure, you can invite 1 or 2 other entrepreneurs to come along with you, and you can have a group coffee date. Sometimes that makes things a little bit easier. All right, so that is tip number 1. I'm going to add something else here. When you are choosing your coffee dates, please, I'm going to ask you to set boundaries on the time. I have heard from people recently that are telling me that their coffee dates are taking 2.5 to 3 hours. That is too long to spend on a coffee date. I mean, unless you're hitting it off and you just don't want to leave. But really, we have so much going on in our lives with our business and our families that to set a distinct start and end time will allow both parties or all individuals who are involved in that meeting, that coffee date, to respect the time frame and make sure that everyone does have an equal amount of time to share about their personal and their professional information with each other. Okay, so set boundaries on timing. Number 2, what I'd like to share with you is don't try to get married on the first date. Don't go into this coffee meeting desperate to sign a new client or make a sale. If you've taken any of my training classes or you have attended any of my face-to-face events or have had discussions with me, you've heard me say, don't go in with commission breath. People can smell that, they can sense that, and that is a turn off. So what you want to do is you want to go into these coffee networking dates and you really want to focus on building the relationship first. And that is a trust factor. People will get to know you, like you, trust you, and that's when they will start to do business with you, make purchases, and refer you to their network. Tip number 3, take a little bit of time to get to know the other person before you dive into business. The best way to build instant rapport with someone is to be interested in them. Ask them questions. Again, if you do a little bit of research on social media, you can find out some things that they may be interested in, their hobbies, their interests, and you can ask them questions about that. Ask them where they're from, ask them about their family, their education, so on and so forth. The same kind of things that you would ask if you just met them at a social outing or if you had met them in the workplace. And you might find that you have a lot of things in common with people, which helps in, again, building that strong foundation so that you can go forward and have the know, like, trust to ask for the sale, ask for the referral, and get to know people in their network. Tip number 4, the next thing you want to do is make sure that you do ask about business and you do talk about business. What I'm finding is that sometimes I'm hearing back from people and it's just been a social outing. There's been no business talk. But this is what these business coffee meetings are all about. So you want to make sure that you do get around to the business aspect, find out what they do, what they like about their business, what they like about the services and products they provide. You also want to know who their ideal client is. If they tell you everyone and anyone, do not accept that as an answer. Ask them to get more specific, and you may have heard this term before, niche it down. Ask them to be very again, specific about who it is that they're looking for. What would make a good referral for them? And what are some signs that you should be looking for when you're out and about and doing your networking, when you're doing business, when you're at vendor events, when you're at networking events? You might also want to ask what other support they're looking for in their business. Okay, so it's not always about making a sale or getting a new client. And after they have had a chance to share these things with you, you will then share with them. So you want to make sure that it's not one-sided. You're not monopolizing the conversation. You're giving them the opportunity to share and then to listen. So works both ways. You're going to give here. Tip number 5 is ask for the referral. If you feel comfortable and the person is aligned with you and your business and your values, don't hesitate to ask for some support. And most people really generally want to help others. They want to help out, lend a hand, and help you succeed. So you can let them know what would be a good referral for you, and then simply say, if you know this person, what they're looking for, this is how I can help them. And then ask them, make sure they understand how to put the two of you in connection with one another. Is it going to be a telephone 3-way call? Is it going to be an email introduction? Is it going to be another coffee date where the 3 of you get together? So talk about how that will best work for you. And the second part of tip number 5, let me just go down to that, is they may know someone in their network that is the perfect fit. And then you can also mention, if you have one, your referral program and tell them all about it. And if you don't have one, I do recommend that you create one. And it's not always that we're looking for people to buy from us our products or services, but we may also be looking for different things. We might be looking for speaking arrangements, engagements. We might be looking for website developers. We might be looking for people to do a new logo for us. We might be looking for individuals who, photographers who do headshots. You're looking for quality people. These are also things that you can ask for, or these are things that you can share with the people you have coffee dates with. Okay, become a source of information for them, become a connector. Let them know how others in your network may serve them and help them advance their business, not necessarily with sales, but in other areas, other support ways. All right, so tip number 6 is go the viral route. If you don't have time to meet in person, set up a virtual date over the phone, or Facebook video calls are great. I use them all the time. When people call or PM me and say, got a quick question, do you have time? I'll video call them and answer it, because for me, sometimes it's just a lot quicker to have a quick discussion, know exactly what they need and want from me, and then answer the question directly. But Zoom and Skype are other great ways of going the virtual route. Virtual dates are a fabulous way to connect with people who might not live in your local area. Okay, so that's the way that you, instead of traveling 2 hours to have a 1-hour coffee date, maybe you'll have a Zoom call with them instead. Consider combining as well your work with your lifestyle. I'm going to give you an example here. One of the ladies who contacted me just recently said that she has a full-time job. She works Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. And in the evening, she would like to go out on coffee dates and attend networking events, but she often finds that she feels guilty because she's taking time away from her children. And then I said to her, combine it. You know, have dinner with the family and then say, hey guys, we're going out for ice cream, or we're going to go to the splash pad this evening, and then meet up with that other entrepreneur, other business owner, and then they bring their kids as well. So it's a little bit less formal of a meeting, but you can still do it. So make it work. We've chosen to be solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, direct sellers, network marketers, because we love the idea of the flexibility in our schedule. Being able to be the boss of our schedule doesn't mean we only work the Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. So make it fit when you can. And you can see other suggestions that I've given there. You might go on nature walks. You might go on run together if that's your thing. Take the kids along when you can, if you're, again, constrained for time. And then the tip number 7 is when you have your coffee date, it shouldn't end there. That's really the beginning of the relationship. And what you want to do is you want to make sure that you stay in touch afterwards, that you don't let this be the last contact with them, that you follow up. But that doesn't mean that you are going to add them to your newsletter and spam them with your sales or promotional content. What that means is maybe you send them a nice thank you letter in the mail. Maybe you send them a thank you voice message, or you send them a thank you text. Maybe it means following up with them by liking their Facebook page, liking their Instagram accounts. There's a multitude of ways that you can continue to cultivate the relationship after your initial coffee date. And really what you are looking to do is to continue to build that relationship. We want to create the know, like, trust factor so that we can have them feel confident about recommending us to their friends, to their family, into their network of other entrepreneurs. Okay, so stay in touch. Tip number 8, you need to be ready with an answer when someone asks you, how can I help you in your business? You need to be ready with an answer. And it's not, buy this, okay? That's the last thing that you're going to say. Here are just a few suggestions. You can ask them to sign up for your newsletter. You can ask them to become friends on Facebook, connect on social media, like your pages, follow you, so on and so forth. You can ask them to share events that you're facilitating, you're hosting, share either with some contacts that may be interested or share in their timeline. You can ask them to remember you and your business, and you can do that easily by being very, very specific about what it is you need, so it's very clear to them how and who they can refer you to. You can ask them to listen to your sales pitch so that you can practice. Ask them to ask you questions, and then you can refine your pitch. You can ask them to listen for opportunities for you, for speaking engagements, for webinars, for sessions, for networking events, anything where you might be a good fit or your business might be a good fit. You can ask them to give you a testimonial. If you've provided them with a service or a product and they've enjoyed it, then you can ask for a testimonial from them. It could be in text, it could be an email. I'm going to suggest that you ask if they wouldn't mind giving you a Facebook review on your Facebook business page or on a Google review. This is what we call social proof, and the number of people now that look for reviews and feedback online before they make their purchases is high up into the 70s now, 70%. You can ask if they're interested in teaming up with you at a booth for a big event coming up or a trade show, or maybe you'd like to co-host an event with them. Maybe you'd like to co-facilitate a seminar or a workshop if you have the same kind of clients or niche. Or you can just say, hey, let's reconnect in a month and have another coffee date, see where we are, get to know each other a little bit better, and see how we can, again, continue to assist each other in moving our businesses forward. Again, I will repeat, none of these items that I mentioned here were about buying a product from you. Okay, so there's lots of ways that you can ask people for support without purchasing your products. The like, know, trust factor takes time. That relationship building takes time. And I tell you, I strongly urge you to rely on that, and the sales will come for sure. So that's everything I have for you today. Those are my 8 tips. Let me see if I can quickly just run through those again very quickly. Choose your dates wisely. Don't have to say yes to everyone. And set boundaries on the time frame. Don't go into it looking for a client or to make a sale. You want to focus on the relationship. Tip number 3 is get to know them. Maybe do a little bit of research beforehand. Ask about their hobbies and their interests. You never know what the two of you might actually have in common. And those commonalities will build for an even stronger foundation in building your relationship with them. Tip number 4, ask them about their business. Of course, we want to make sure that we understand what it is they do and who it is they're looking for. Who is their ideal client? Tip number 5, if you feel comfortable and they align with you on a personal and professional level, you may ask for a referral, or you may ask for a referral for a product provider or a service provider to help you with your business. Tip number 6, go viral. If you cannot meet face-to-face due to time constraints or geographic locations differences, then go Skype, Facebook video calls, or do a Zoom with them. Or good old-fashioned telephone. Tip number 7, stay in touch. This coffee meeting was just the start of what is to come in the relationship with this person. You are looking to actively cultivate and grow this relationship. So it will take time and it'll take many points of contact with them. Tip number 8, lots of different opportunities for when someone asks you, how can I help you? Lots of different ways that they can assist you other than buying a product from you. Keep these in your back pocket and use them when you can. And if you have any questions, I am here to help. Please let me know by sending me a private message. You're certainly welcome to, I invite you to follow me online, and I would certainly like to follow you back. I'm most active on Facebook, but I'm also using Instagram and LinkedIn. My name is Christine Hull. I'm the online business manager and lead trainer with Christine Hull & Associates. Before I sign off today, just want to let you know I do offer many hands-on training workshops, and this is what I have coming up in the next couple of weeks from the time this recording was done. July 16th, I have a class called How to Get More Engagement on Your Facebook Posts. July 17th, I am teaching a 2-hour hands-on Canva 101 workshop where I teach non-graphic designers how to produce graphics for their social media posts. And on July 19th, I'm teaching a workshop, again, a 2-hour workshop, hands-on Instagram 101, how to get the most out of your Instagram page. Got lots of little tips and tricks there on what you can do to grow your followers. And thank you very much for listening. If you know anyone who might be interested in those courses, I'd love for you to share that information with them as well. I'm going to leave you here with this last little tidbit, a quote. Success is the sum of small efforts repeated day in and day out. Good luck to all of you with your coffee dates and your networking. If there's anything I can do for you and your business, I'd encourage you to reach out to me, and we can either have a virtual coffee date or we can meet up if we live close enough to one another. Everyone, I wish you good success, and we will see you soon. Thank you for listening in. Bye now.